Alright, this is the supposed very interesting Kiana versus Akali game. And first, start out with these really slow timers. We have the neutralizing Ezreal pick. So, neutralizing Ezreal Thresh pick, so they want to have Ezreal to keep pressure by himself and some Thresh to roam, so that's pretty positive for them. So Balling want to kind of keep pressure to punish this and be able to match Morgana. Theoretically want to push. It's Kali, Jarvan, Tiana versus Vel'Koz, Zac, Pantheon. Pantheon should have pressure over Kali for most of the early game, so Jarvan's going to want to come mid a lot and help out the Vel'Koz. He can also help force 2v2's top lane depending on Zac's clear. If Zac does a red Raptors Krugs and then goes pathing towards top side for a counter gank, then that would be pretty scary for Jarvan to go top. And Jarvan can do the exact same clear. Red, Krugs, Raptors, and then mid for it to get mid priority. Zac cannot counter this play. Zac could counter, theoretically, the top play, so I wouldn't ever go for that. But most Zacs don't actually do this clear because they're not looking for the level 3 power spike, so he could head towards bot side. And because of the fact that you have a Xayah Morgana, you kind of want to help push in the Ezreal because Ezreal has no wave clear, and Thresh from behind is pretty worthless. So that would be pretty beneficial for the Zac. And so if Jarvan does this clear and does like the scuttle around that time, he could prevent this potential level, like this play, around 3 minutes. So Jarvan shows mid 240, then around 3 minutes, Zac should be around right here. So that could all happen. But I want to see what they're doing. This seems like it's just cheese level 1. Pretty fine to go to. You kind of always wanted ward Raptors. Level 1 now. Let's go. Okay.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Seems like just flashes burn.
Minions have spawned.
Alright. Neither solo laner wants to ward Raptors, so we don't know about what clear they're going for. Oh, we know what clear they're going for because these guys. So Raptors ward tells whether the Zac paths top or bottom. Pretty standard. Red. No subs burned. Oh, Ezreal heal. And pressure. They should really theoretically hard push that bottom. They couldn't contest it before. They especially can't contest it now. Oh, Jarvan's in. Because he went for that play. So that would mean he has to path blue Krugs top lane. Bot lane's receding pressure. If Zac was going to come bot, he would have came bot 20 seconds ago. Because that's when the level 3 clears finish around 240 typically. And Zac is not even a threat till level 5, so I'm not respecting that decision. Top lane's going to push in, there's nothing to really say about that. Akali does not win the matchup early versus Pantheon unless Pantheon hard trolls. There's some jungle influence. Mid, burn both sums on both sides, okay. Call Jarvan down to help reset this wave. She got it actually. I forgot how good Kiana's wave clear is level 4. Typical reset. Call Jarvan down to help hold mid lane. Bot lane's just keeping the wafers and they have 0 pressure. Mid can hold this freeze here, and Vel'Koz really can't pressure the lane. Jarvan seems to be heading top lane. That's his third time pathing towards top. And about 5 minutes, and this play, oh no, that's actually the second one, he didn't clear this earlier. This lane seems volatile, but it's kind of not. Because Pantheon's always has his utility. Let's see, there should be a free kill though, regardless. No? Yeah. because Jarvan showed bot that the enemy team grabs dragons. Way too much happening. And with the lack of bot pressure, that can just freely get the dragon. And mid's about even because either of them really, because no flashes, they can't pressure each other. At the same time, you could have held the freeze because Vel'Koz cannot pressure the lane. I think this is just standard and nothing's happening. This fight's fine to go for with the... Kiana's one of the strongest level 4 champions in the game, so it's fine. How did that even? Ezreal especially can't keep up pressure when he has 2 of the goddess. We should just see a bot mid focus with the Jarvan pick. Collie's pushing it out. Yeah, she doesn't push that fast. And with the Conqueror, we see Jarvan going for the tanky build, which makes the most sense as the anti-tank on the side on the red team is not very good. Its bot lane never has pressure. What's the point of picking Xayah? They don't even have pressure when Zack's ganking top. There's no deep wards down either. Zack is making some very interesting pathing choices overall. That seems about fine. There's nothing to say there. Vel'Koz has gotten to the point where he can just totally ignore the pressure Kiana exerts. Vel'Koz wants levels more than he wants actual farm. Once he gets enough points in his W, he's good to go. Yikes. Oh, he's going... What the heck? I don't like Warrior Jarvan. Especially when you run Conqueror. That's good. That's really well played by the Akali to keep the wayfarers in there. Pantheon needs to call Zack top lane in order to do anything about it, and Akali will eventually outscale the Pantheon. However, this does allow Pantheon to go move to other lanes, and Akali doesn't have teleport. So Jarvan has to hover mid, or like, if Pantheon shows top, he can go kill him top lane. But otherwise, he has to hover mid, which is what's happening now. And this appears to be a numbers advantage even as Pantheon shows up now. That's kind of awkward, but he should be able to get them both. Yes. Yes, double kill. Pantheon didn't decide to run down for whatever reason. I think it's more not well played by the enemy team. That was really nice to go for him. Morgana's pulling pressure, Dash isn't roaming at all, completely neutralizing the point of the Ezreal pick. And Ezreal didn't read the patch notes, realizing you can't do that anymore. Ew. Ew. That's disgusting. Just reset. This Ocean Drake is incredibly worthless. They should just send Jarvan top lane to grab the Rift Herald and later use it to push to take out mid. With mid turret gone, Vel'Koz can't reliably farm it, and they're gonna have to send their bot lane mid and put Vel'Koz in the side lane. Vel'Koz does not want to be in the side lane versus an Akali and Diana. So the correct play here is just completely ignore the Ocean Drake. It doesn't do anything for either team. It's only ever useful after 8 minutes when there's like multiple Ocean Drakes. But that's RNG. You don't ever want to take a risk on. Also, when it comes to 35 minutes, Elder Drake's tankiness is directly proportionate to the amount of dragons you have taken, and so red team is going to have to have a struggle to clear the Elder Drake, and blue team will not have to deal with that. And they don't really want... Late game is kind of something you don't really want to go for, but you can go for it, because team fighting with the Pantheon and Ezreal's kind of meh as comparison to Xayah and Qiyana. The Zac pick makes absolutely no sense here. You give away the dragon and not... Does that Jarvan die for this? It's completely worthless to go for. Even if he got in the steal? Okay, no, he doesn't die. It probably would have been fine to die there and not burn flash because they couldn't get anything afterwards. You have reliable enough wave clear where you could stop all the potential farms. Whereas if you burn the flash there, your playmaking is down, but it's probably fine. Breaking open into the mid game is what you want to do versus a Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz stalls out the game very, very fast if you keep doing game in laning phase, which laning phase could have ended 2 minutes ago. Focus the E on the return. Ezreal is the exact opposite where he wants to be in mid game and out of laning phase because he's just going to get a CS deficit, except here where he has a CS lead. Because of the excellent wave management and pressure from the team, Akali now has pressure over her lane. I'm really respecting that. Akali, being the only magic damage stat, decides to go for the Sorcerer Shoes. That's kind of respectable too. Alright, I want to get into the mid game. This laning phase is especially boring. I don't care what just happened top lane, I do see it though. They get it by Thresh roaming top lane, and then, okay, so they try to trade bot tower for Riftfield. You should send the Morgana up, she can do it herself. Did they win this? They do. I wouldn't have even gone for it, but that went a lot better than expected. But you want to open up the mid game. This play just puts you back in laning phase over and over. You don't want to be in laning phase versus this. Vel'Koz is just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger. If you put him into the mid game where he has to be in fights right then and there with no items and no levels, more importantly, his usefulness is going to be really bad. Vel'Koz support has the opposite approach where he wants to terrify you a lot during the laning phase, so that's why you can get away with it. Vel'Koz mid lane is not the same approach. Pantheon team fights really only spooky for ADCs not named Xayah or Kai'Sa, so you're absolutely okay with letting the Pantheon through. The stealth and the Akali and the Qiyana should be enough to threaten the Vel'Koz, and Ezreal at this stage of the game has no Iceborne Gauntlet, no Sheen item, he's absolutely trolling. So at this stage, team fighting is really good. You don't even want a team fight. You have Akali, you have a Qiyana with Moby Boots. You can 1-3-1 really, really well. Jarvan has pretty good setup for both of this, and he has Rift Shell, but he shouldn't throw it. He should have had it earlier, but theoretically didn't for whatever reason. And there's that. So if you send the Xayah mid to help just keep... if this tower was gone, it's a completely different story, but if you have the Xayah mid, she'll be able to keep the... Xayah mid can keep the pressure on the Vel'Koz or on the Ezreal, whatever one they send. Preferably, if they're smart enough, they need to send the Ezreal. Ezreal is the king of mid priority, so they send their bot lane to match this bot lane, which it's just going to be even matching. However, Morgana can roam, and her roams are a bit more useful than Thresh's because the Black Shield prevents a lot of these champions, while the unreliable CC of Thresh is not going to do anything versus these two champions and potentially this champion. And also on the 1-3-1, they're going to want to just keep the same lane format. But either way, they couldn't really do it because they can't find a favorable matchup for Vel'Koz to be in an extended lane. But because you guys aren't in the mid game yet, I think this tower falls here, so at least bot lane opens. Vel'Koz can reliably farm top lane under the tower, absolutely fine. Just have some deep wards here, and just have there's jungler just hover around this quadrant, and this play is completely baffled out, and it's baffled out, just done for. But you want to kind of keep the assassin matching the Vel'Koz and applying pressure onto him, because either one of them could dive him at this stage of the game. He's not very tanky. His base armor is pretty low, and it's probably not his magic resist is also very low. Yeah, 30, 51, and 33. You put the Akali in, it's a bit easier for the Akali to threaten the Vel'Koz with her dashes, and the Qiyana can have a good time annoying the Pantheon. But I don't think that's what happens, judging by the fact this game goes to 54 minutes. Let's find out. No, bot tower doesn't fall there. I thought I saw the Xayah there. No, she teleported. Let's see. They keep the laning phase going on. This is what every real cosplayer dreams of. This is what Froggen dreams of. Yeah. Any objective coming up that's worth note? There's no objectives. They could just try to Rift Herald mid once they pull Zac somewhere. Do not Rift Herald bot. They can get this by himself. Xayah and Morgana should have pressure over the Ezreal at this stage of the game. I'll push them. That's whatever. I'm not going to count that. Akali's fine staying in the laning phase. You don't gain anything off of it, though. You want to be playing a game with it. A game. Pretty free dive bottom. I don't know about that one. It was a pretty obvious dive volley, and I'm surprised the Vel'Koz didn't call it out. Like, Qiyana can only really show up one other place if she's not mid. That's whatever. Okay, now they want to execute the 1-3-1. This comp is kind of meh in team fights. You don't really like team fighting versus Vel'Koz, but you can do it. It's just more or less relying on skill rather than actual brains. Alright, so this should open us up into the mid game. The mid game seems to last for about 15 minutes. Nice. So they keep the mid game open for as long as possible. They don't want to translate this into the late game. Yeah, keep the Xayah mid. Send Qiyana top, send Akali bot lane. Qiyana has no ult, so she's a little bit less useful in the fight. Ezreal isn't going to do anything in these fights, so you're going to want to flank. You want to just get on top of the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is the only source of actual damage on this team, and threatening the tank. Didn't he have a Warhammer? Whatever. Wow, they played that terribly. Whatever. Nice. That's realistically something that shouldn't win there, considering they could have held all the flank angles. But well played nonetheless. It's in the bot lane top. I don't see the point of doing that. Qiyana's wave clear isn't that reliable. Yeah, if they keep doing this, Ezreal should just walk up and auto attack the thing. One, three, one, three, one. Because red team has no idea how to set up lane assignments, this play that went through mid has gone completely unpunished. Vel'Koz really can't punish it at this stage of the game. So I guess that's it. They just overextended a lot of red team. Set up the 1-3-1. Pressure Baron. Vel'Koz is just a ticking, he's just a 3-stack gold at this point in the game. He doesn't even have boots finished, and he has no defensive items, so he should blow up to both assassins. That, or he's so far back where he's not protecting the towers. Wait! Okay, yeah, this seems like the 1-3-1 I was talking about. Let's see if anything happens. They need to get all the waves in the same spot, then try pushing them out. Killing Thresh over and over again doesn't really do anything. It just proves that this Thresh player isn't very good. They don't get anything off of it, because no one's bot lane. Bot lane is slow pushing. You don't want to fight versus them, like, 24/7. You want skirmishes, but you don't want team fights, which is what they seem to be looking for. Okay. Pantheon's killed. Get the top tower. You can't focus Baron down. Zac and Vel'Koz are way too scary, and there's little magic resistance on your side. Guys. No. Don't tell me this actually works. Zac didn't burn anything. He should just come in and kill them. The mind game here is you guys keep getting mid priority, but the securing vision on the Baron keeps failing. You need to keep this. You want to push mid as soon as the mid wave gets passed around here. You want to go and clear these vision. You want to clear this area out a lot, and especially since top turret is down, clearing this area out also allows you to get the ability to have this tower. Ezreal dies, but Vel'Koz gets a lot of damage off before dying. These fights are completely unnecessary. No, they don't even win this one. Oh, they do win this, yeah. Here's that, and they get absolutely nothing off this fight. They get an Ocean Drake. Ocean Drake doesn't do anything unless you have 2 of them after 8 minutes. Surprisingly enough, whilst being 5k gold behind, they have priority in 2 lanes. And about to gain priority in a 3rd lane. So that's what I'm assuming happens for the next 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Colleague should be the one running. Oh, guess not. I freaking would have gone for the haunting guys here. Yeah, this is the one time in this game where they can have priority here. This is an acceptable reason for you guys to not have priority. Overall, nice job not getting picked off 24/7. Pantheon's really huge. Alright, now that you have the lane assignments, I would still keep the Kiana versus the Pantheon. I mean, Akali can do it just fine, so it's not bad. I feel like it's easier for the Akali to threaten the Vel'Koz than it is with Kiana to threaten the Vel'Koz. Her effective range is much higher. But it does the exact same thing since their champions play out the same. game plan here, assuming Kiana gets out of this, because I don't really realistically see her dying here. Mid priority is assumed. Keep getting this until one of their players makes a mistake. Preferably, this player. This guy needs to be killed. He does a lot of damage to fights, and he needs to not be able to join the fight. If Akali is in the same lane as him, she can match the teleport, and her teamfight prowess is much higher than Pantheon's teamfight prowess, even though Pantheon is an insanely strong champion and duelist right now. That being said, Zac is about even in Jarvan's threat power at this stage of the game, so there's that. You just kind of want to be looking for picks. Jarvan's teamfighting is not bad, but it isn't good either, so you want to be looking for just picks. You want to be looking for picks. And when you have vision of this whole area, I mean, they should never have vision of this area, so that one doesn't really matter. This whole area, it becomes really threatening to walk into the red side, especially with a Kiana or a Kali or not being Ant. And Xayah always threatening mid. Walking up through mid lane is kind of scary when there's a Morgana too. Morgana and Xayah can easily pick off anyone who wants to try to do a rotation, unless there's a play happen, and they can easily get out. So this being said, this mid priority should always be secured and well, not secured, but like always be like easy to obtain and hard to take away. You can't really gain full priority in Ezreal. It's one of the hardest things to do. Vel'Koz shouldn't be able to walk all the way up here to clear this wave out, so you should be able to push it to around here, then go secure the vision. And then you can threaten Baron if they never rotate, and when they do rotate, you can use the Kiana to threaten them, preferably in this bush, which is what she's doing right now. But without the threatening of the Baron, or really anything. Alright. So, assuming she gets out of this. She doesn't. Alright, that pick's kind of lame. These guys want to scale. Realistic. Well, Xayah does do more damage than Ezreal. Xayah can't ever get on top of an Ezreal. So it feels really, really bad as a Xayah. You don't want to get late game. You can, but you don't want to. We're not forcing anything. Oh, she's really down at the farm. You guys don't have mid priority. Just Pantheon right to you guys. Let's go taking the split fight. You guys are not very good at being coordinated at all. You guys are very coordinated, it's kind of in the wrong way. And nothing happens off these fights. I'm assuming you guys lose this game. Just by the fact it goes 54 minutes. No, you guys win. Okay, neat. They went to 54 minutes and they lost with Vel'Koz. How in the world did that happen? Did we just do the same thing? Is it just rinse and repeat? Force a fight over this dragon is fine. Kiana should be looking to, she can loop around here. Oh, too late. Yeah, they don't scale. In like terms of actual use. And they seem to always have priority in some lane. Which should be only realistically the Pantheon lane. And you picked off. I don't really care about these small little pickoffs. I care about why none of the lanes are in the right spot. You can't possibly get picked off if everyone's in the right lane matchup. And when you do get picked off, it's not even actually being picked off. Alright, so this stalls it out for another 20 minutes. I don't really want to pay attention to these small little things here. Because I don't got the time for that. Okay, nice shutdown. Realistically, they have a Vel'Koz and Ezreal, so defending versus them is pretty much do or die, but since you guys have a... Oh, you don't. That's right, he died there. Yeah, you're going to lose something here. That's not bad. I would 100% agree with that decision. Kind of sucks that Kiana died for it, but it's not a win situation here. Realistically, you guys should just lose from now on, but it doesn't seem like you do, so I want to see what outplays go on. They don't take the mid turret. They have... Okay. Kind of curious what this Frozen Heart is supposed to be. Ugh, that's kind of disgusting to me. Zac skills off HP. Okay, you seem to love forcing fights. Akali did a fantastic job assassinating the Ezreal. These fights just don't make sense. What? This guy doesn't make any sense either. Yeah, just walk away. Ocean Drake is not a do or die dragon. You can easily give that thing up. It is so worthless. They got 2 of them, so it's there. I guess they could have gotten 2 of them too, so it's not completely worthless. It's just lost its value. I don't know. I think Ezreal's like poke isn't enough to warrant wanting 2 oceans. Pantheon gets picked. If they can stabilize it enough to get Vision Round done. Nice, clean ace, straight to the bear. I like going for fights there, that's good. Going for these desperate fights is really nice when behind. They were about even then though, a little bit under. I want to flip this. Push out. What are you doing? Push it out. If they send Pantheon to stop you, this vision controls also 20x. Akali can't realistically pressure this because she doesn't know where all of them are. She can now. She doesn't know where Pantheon is, I guess. I think she can escape from the Pantheon easily enough. Yeah, bear enough it up, she got it. And now with Pantheon right there, she can go down the Dragon Board, and the strength of Pantheon is his ult, of course. What dragon is this? This is Elder Drake. Oh, yeah, this is definitely something I want to force for. Kiana has a fantastic flank. So they want to really corral them down here, so walking this way, probably not the move. Walking down from bot lane is definitely a thing. They're going to get spotted on this. They don't know this is here, of course. So they walk down from bot lane. If they walk in from this angle, all this does is that means that Zac could potentially find an engage here, and Vel'Koz can get a really straight line ult, which is nice, and Kiana has to walk all the way around, thus and walking through a ward in order to get the flank. It can still work out. It's a bit harder. But if you walk through the bottom side, where Kiana actually is located, they're going to walk through here. Or potentially around through here, which is going to give the Kiana a much better time going through. Kiana does want to get around to this corner, but she doesn't want to do it while there's the fight already going on. She can do it, but it's also closer for Pantheon to come engage from, and also cuts off the exit. I don't really like that play, personally. Coming from here, but it can work. If they're going for that play, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that it works, right? Yeah. Give them this momentary priority. Akali should be able to threaten this. Threaten is the word key thing. Yeah, this is really nice. Personally, I don't think it would have been worth my time as a Kali to rotate there, but she did burn enough pressure, but they got the assassination off with and without her. No way for her to really have any clue that that's going to happen. Alright. Nice going for the fight there. Setup and everything. The priority was secured and the lanes. And they had to overforce because of the fact they knew Kali was pushing the tower. She didn't quite get the tower, but it's not that counts. Now they can easily look for fights, but there's nothing to force a fight over, and because you don't have the Baron anymore, you don't have the Baron, right? No Baron. It's actually much harder to force a fight. But you have it at least. Jarvan used stopwatch early, so you can't buy a stopwatch. Xayah still has it. Might have to just go keep looking to see if Pantheon or Vel'Koz gets caught out. Ezreal's going to be really hard to catch up, but you can get him too. He's actually pretty strong at this point in the game. Let's see what he does. Theoretically, he doesn't do anything. Five mid is really good when you have Baron, but not versus this team. You can't fight mid versus him. Kill the Vel'Koz right there. Oh, he has flash still. Yeah, they're getting pushed in on both side lanes with Elder Drake. They could be tunneling in on the fact that this Vel'Koz is terrible at positioning, which honestly isn't even a bad thing, but going in for the 1-3-1 here is definitely the move. I would have gone for the same play, just keep pushing mid, just because I don't respect this Vel'Koz enough to stay back. He's always way too far up. This looks like a fantastic spot to engage. He pulled him out. The Baron isn't even spawned and he pulled them out. Both their carries are not in here. Any peel, and Kiana should... I think this is where like the game gets... Yeah. Handily win this fight. Your Xayah dies, but 2 carries for the price of 1. I'm kind of worried you don't have the damage for Zac. Does Kali get one shot here? Alright. Yeah. Forgot about Pantheon. Hi. Dude. How was actually that execution? I don't know. I feel like that should have worked out. I could have just walked away instead of going for the rest of the fight. Because 2 for 2 seems like that's a lot, but the 2 are they also wave clear champions, so they could have shoved in top wave. Yeah, I see that they got the Baron there. They also get the next Elder Drake, so I'm assuming the next fight is also a loss. I was just kind of... or just small little misplays. Something that can get changed later on. Like, that'll change every time you do it, so I'm not going to really comment on the little actual team fight. I'm going to comment on... Vel'Koz time and time again getting caught out. Nice. Alright. Yeah, Kali's playing this really nicely. I don't know about the Black Cleaver, but the full items, why not? I just don't see Kiana with enough sustained damage, but with seeing a Pantheon on, you build whatever you want. Champion's kind of disgusting. This only helps you versus the Pantheon. Ooh, Zac is getting Leandries. That's really nice. I don't really know about the Zac build, but the Leandries is pretty cool, I guess. Main party. They always have lane priority this entire game. You guys are outplaying them so hard in team fights, but they always have lane priority. And their team fighting is good, so they should have won this game. They just seem like the mechanically talented players. Yeah, playing this really well. That's just showing how strong Pantheon is as a champion. Kind of lame the Kiana wasn't too useful that fight. The Akali's do so well. Runins? I'm not sure about the Runins. I like Rapid Fire here personally. But honestly, at this point, there's not much you can do. Did Chino bring Lifesteal in their runes? Everyone brings Lifesteal in their runes. I don't see the point of building QSS whenever you have a Thresh. It doesn't stop any of their CC. If Pantheon's debuting onto you, he's either dead or you're going to have your ults up. Why can't I not click on Xayah? Whatever. But if you have Lifesteal here, you should just go for a second Zeal item. But you should have Lifesteal in your runes. No reason not to. It's 2019. But they misclicked, so I'm not going to really say much more about that. Get the priority around top side. Bot priority is too mismatched, and they're not going to send Pantheon down. He's shown time and time again he does not care about the lane assignments. He wants to just fight. He's not getting any stronger, and yeah. Okay, Ezreal getting QSS here is pretty good. I don't know about the Iceborne Ionian boots here. Iceborne's fine. I just don't know about that. Okay. Really well played from the red team over here, forcing this Baron right as they have to rotate. Someone ideally has to go to the mid wave. Kiana's pretty disgusting. Vel'Koz is getting no damage off. This guy should not be playing Vel'Koz. Now I want to watch the Akali. Pantheon's already dead, who cares? Oh. Now, if Vel'Koz dies here, I don't think he does. Yeah. Smart not to go for the Baron. They still have Ezreal up. Does anyone get picked off here? The game ends 3 minutes from now. Standard farming pushing. He could sell boots for Zeal here. It's not the smart play, but it's something I would do. And if I'm doing it, I wouldn't play for it or call it out. What something else would do? I think Doozy would do something similar. Nice bait pick off since Baron's still up. That was really nice, actually. Kiana probably did not mean for that to be as good as it was. Akali's getting a nice flank off. So, yeah, this is where the game is. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with team fighting. Doing the team fights really nice. I don't think we should be going for team fights. There's no reason why we should be winning the team fights, but we are. Which shows that we're just the mechanical players here. This fight, I think, stalls out just as long as it does, just because their comp is better at doing what they're doing. The players themselves are much, much worse at doing this. Yeah. And here's where Tarzan says, go get Baron, Ezreal can wave clear. Fuck Tarzan. Alright, there's not much to see here. GG. I shouldn't have let the Nexus explode. Now I can't rewind. Overall, get mid priority. What? People buy that? Oh, it's that type of Morgana build. Didn't know people bought that item. Keep mid priority. Realistically, you could have ended this game much earlier. Probably didn't expect this Vel'Koz to be that terrible, so probably you could have put that as an argument for why you didn't 1-3-1. But yikes. Pantheon is super strong right now, so it's understandable that you're occasionally going to get picked off to him. That's not something I'm going to pull out. He's just that champion. He just does it. That's going to happen from time to time. That doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is, one, you got to open up the mid-game really, really early. If you can open up mid-game before Ezreal gets items, his mid-game doesn't ever actually come through. And because of Ezreal's low damage numbers, if he doesn't have Iceborne, like Sheen plus Iceborne, the mana immune, his damage is very, very bad. So usually in order to charge it up, teams will put him in the mid lane, get that easy, secure mid priority, and you can keep his Xayah farming there. This is about a net neutral play, as Ezreal is actually supposed to be the counter for Xayah. And so if you can get a net neutral play on a supposed counter, that's a good thing. Which realistically we didn't ever see this happen. We just never saw the 1-3-1. Those are some fantastic rooms from the Morgana. Thresh was offering zero pressure in the lane. He should have. There's no point in getting pressure if you don't do anything with it ball lane. So I don't know why they decided to do that. They got pressure. They probably weren't expecting to have pressure, but they had it. Zach, I don't even know what the heck he was doing in the early game. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm just going to draw a question mark over him. Just whatever the heck he's doing. There was a lot of pressure towards the top side of the map, which isn't bad. I would focus more on the mid lane, but you probably didn't expect this Vel'Koz to be that bad, so the first pathing is probably fine. And also just because of that bot play, you couldn't have done that, and it would just slow down the worth of the triple camp and then mid play. That's fine. And then overall, I'd say that was really well played from the Akali. Had good wave management all around. Didn't get as much CS as the Pantheon, just because in the mid to late game, you guys were fighting way, way too often, which is not something I've said before about you guys. It's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You guys posturing for fights 24/7. Don't need to. Absolutely. It doesn't gain you anything. Half the time you guys didn't get anything. There's so many more dashes on this map than there are objectives taken. And a lot of these dashes just look like blurs just because there's so many kills done. It's kind of sad. Pressure around these side lanes. There's this champion that's really good at keeping mobility, but if you have someone who can ideally match him, I know this game is like, it was kind of meh because Akali just got one shot, but she could theoretically match him. And this is where your strong thing is. These two right here, they both do magic damage and they both don't offer a lot in the 2v2, unless like the stars align right for them where they can get their full combos off. But otherwise, they don't win the 2v2. Thresh is countered by Morgana, of course, and not as useful as already mentioned. So going for these players would just make so much more sense. The Jarvan can pull so much more pressure, and since there's the only free dash on the team is by the Ezreal, whom you're not going to be focusing on, the Jarvan can lock anyone down, whoever he wants with the ultimate, and would have to get a flash burnt. They can only do this so often, and yeah, it was just my first read through of this game. Anyways, well played and good job.